Buccaneers, today we're going to unbox and review Unmatched Battle of Legends Volume 3 by Restoration Games. Unmatched is one of my favorite games. So far there has been Battle of Legends 1 and Battle of Legends number 2. And this is Battle of Legends 3, which is the last one out of the trilogy. On the front of the box, it says it's for ages 9 and up, for 2 to 4 players. It takes 20 to 40 minutes to play a game. There's 133 cards, 4 miniatures, and 2 battlefields. This box includes the fighters Blackbeard, Chupacabra, Pandora, and Loki. On the back of the box, they give you a little trailer kind of thing where you can learn about the characters. And it also says on the back that this is a double-sided game board, so it includes Venice and Santa's Workshop. I'm glad that they finally brought it back because for a while it was just one board, but now it's 2. Now we're gonna open the game. Okay, here we have a pamphlet that has all of Restoration Games, well, almost all. And they even include the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set that's coming out soon. Here is the rulebook for Battle of Legends 3. Inside it's very colorful and they have specific rules to this game. And then here's the regular rules of Unmatched. So if you don't know how to play, you can learn right here. These are the health dials for this set. They look very cool. And you can see there's also doubloon tokens for Blackbeard and his treasure chest. Here's the back. Not much. And then this is the double-sided map. This side is Venice, which looks really cool, but the back is better. This is Santa's Workshop. I don't know why it's Santa's Workshop for this. For Battle of Legends 3, it just is. And this one has the conveyor belt system, which is very fun. And then here is the components of the game. This is Loki. This is Pandora. This is Chupacabra. And here's Blackbeard. Here are the things for the health dials and the sidekick tokens. Here are Pandora's Kako demons. I think that's how you say it. They have different designs, as you can see. And then this is Blackbeard's sea dogs. I like how they both have different designs too. And then now we're gonna get started on the cards. We'll start with Pandora. This is Pandora. She's melee with 14 health. Her sidekicks, I don't know how to say that, are melee, and there's 2 of them, each with 1 health. She moves 2. Her ability is called Pandora's Box. Do not start with any of her sidekicks on the board. I'm not going to say that. At the start of your turn, open Pandora's Box. I don't know how to say her sidekick's name. It's so confusing. And then Pandora's Box are these tokens. So I will show you these. So Pandora's Box comes with these different things. And they all have different abilities. And at the start of your turn, you flip over a card if you want. And then if it has this feather, I think that's a bad ability. Or else you just resolve it. Here's the back of Pandora's cards. They look pretty nice. They have like these 3 symbols. And then her sidekicks are in there. Pandora's cards, here's rules on how to use it. Now I will show some interesting cards that stand out. We'll start with Zeus Mischief. It's a scheme. Draw 1 card for each revealed misery. Move an opposing fighter up to 1 space. Gain an action. And miseries, I think, are these with the feathers. Those are the miseries. And you have 2 of these. So these aren't bad. They're actually not bad. It's just you draw a lot of cards if you reveal a lot of them. So that could be good or bad. Because if you end up exhausting, you take 2 damage. But you can also move the opposing fighter, so that's really helpful. Here's Hera's Curiosity. It's a 3-value attack. For boost, during combat, add +1 to this card value for each revealed misery. Is miseries the card or the feather? I think it's the feather. And then look at your opponent's hand after combat. This one's really good. It can be such a high value, and you get 3 of them. But if you haven't revealed any miseries, it's just an attack. Here we have a versatile, guided by the fates, 2-value versatile. During combat, discard the top card of your deck, add its boost value to this card's value. And then after combat, if you want the combat, Pandora recovers 2. There are good boost values. There's this 3, there's the 4 from Harris Curiosity, and there's more 3s. So you have a high chance of getting a high boost value. So you could win. And then for her sidekicks, which I still don't know how to say the name, they have these 2 cards themselves that either deal damage or makes the opponent discard a card. She's not bad, but her defense is not the best. So I think that's what she's going to struggle with. Next is Chupacabra. Chupacabra is melee with 14 health. He moves 3. And the power is the hunger. After you attack, you may draw a card. So it's kind of like T-Rex, where after your turn, you draw a card. Here's the back of Chupacabra's deck. This is what it looks like. Now onto the cards. This one is really powerful. It's a 0, but it's during combat. The value of this card is equal to twice the printed value of the opponent's card. So if they played a 5, it's a 10, which is a lot, and you get 3 copies. So it's a really good card for attacking, but also it could be a waste of such a good card if they played like a 1 or a 2. Here's another one, Feeding. After combat, if Chupacabra has 7 or less health, gain action, and it recovers health. So he can recover but gain action, and he can attack again. And all of his attacks are really good. He's all about attacking and gaining cards. He doesn't really have to move if he can keep attacking. And then here's a scheme for Chupa. Unsettle. Choose an opponent with a fighter in Chupacabra's zone. They discard 1 card. You may deal 2 damage to Chupacabra to make them discard 2 instead. You can either choose for them to discard 1 or 2. And if you take 2 damage, it's not that bad because you can recover easily in your deck. Tooth and Tail. Deal 1 damage to up to 2 fighters adjacent to Chupa. Chupacabra recovers 1 for each one. So it's kind of like Prey Upon from Dracula, except there's 3 copies. And it's a versatile. Overall, Chupacabra is not bad. He's all about being 7 or less health. And also he can recover a lot and draw a lot of cards. So he's not bad. I would say he's pretty good. This is Loki's deck. Loki is melee with 16 health. He moves 2, no sidekicks. His ability is called Mischief Monger. After you play Trick, put that card into your opponent's hand instead of your discard pile. If an opponent discards a trick from their hand, return that card to your hand or at the top of your deck. Add +1 to your move value for each trick in your opponent's hand. So first one we're gonna see is this trick, Sindri's Bet. It's 3-value defense. So there's a Loki section and there's a not Loki section. So if this is in your opponent's hand and they play it, this is their effect. So Loki's effect, when he plays it, is during combat, your opponent may discard a card if they don't subtract 3 from their card's value. This is pretty good because if they played a 6, then you take no damage unless they discard a card. Or if they play 7, then it's a 4. So unless they want to discard a card, you're taking very little damage. Their effect is Loki returns the top card of their discard pile to their hand. So this isn't bad if they play it. It benefits you, kind of, but it can also just be okay. Let's look at another trick card. As you can see, these say trick. Here's another one. It's a scheme. I don't know how to pronounce that. Loki's effect is place an opposing fighter adjacent to Loki. But if you're not Loki, Loki reveals a card in your hand. Discard that card. It's kind of like Sherlock Holmes' scheme. It can be really good because you're not wasting an action on it. Here's another one of Loki's cards. Shapeshifter. During combat, choose 1 effect. Add +1 to this card's value for each card in your opponent's hand or you can gain action. And you have 4 copies of this. So you can use this as a bait, and it's a free action, or you can make it really good if your opponent has a lot of cards in their hand. And then here is a 0 value card also. This card's effects cannot be canceled. Add +3 to this card's value for each trick in your opponent's hand. So if you play a bunch of these at first, then you can play this. And this is a lot, because if they have only 3 cards in their hand, that's a 9 value attack. But there's only 2 copies because they know how good this is. Overall, Loki's not bad. He relies a lot on his tricks, but I also like how he has 0 value cards. Lastly, there's Blackbeard. Blackbeard is ranged with 13 health. He moves 2. His sidekick are his sea dogs. He's melee. They're melee, and they each have 1 health. His ability is Privateer turned pirate. Start the game with 1 doubloon in the treasury. You have the other 2. And then if you have 1 doubloon in the treasury at the start of your turn, you may play 1 doubloon to gain an action. And then another one, when Blackbeard takes combat damage, pay 1 doubloon. So basically it's bad if you lose combat. It's not really an ability. Okay. He has 3 doubloon, by the way. So here's a give me no quarter. During combat, if another friendly fighter is adjacent to the opposing fighter, this card's value is 5 instead. And then it says after combat, gain 1 action unless that. So that means unless the opponent pays 1 doubloon. So they have to pay for this to not be resolved. And then here's a Vasti. It's a 5 value attack for Blackbeard. And it says immediately your opponent discards 1 random card unless they pay a doubloon, or they can pay a doubloon to not deal 1 damage to each opposing fighter in Blackbeard's zone. So if they have a lot of sidekicks like Robin Hood, then they will want to pay for this. But if they have enough for 2, they can pay for both. Here's a scheme. Blackbeard recovers 2 health unless they pay a doubloon. Summon a sea dog in any space unless they pay a doubloon, or gain action unless they pay a doubloon. So unless they have 3 doubloons, then you're at least getting 1 of these. But if they have none, then that's a great time to play this, because then you can recover, summon, and gain action. So this is a really powerful one, and you can make them lose their doubloons. This one's called Light the Fuse. It's a 2 value attack. And it says move your fighter up to 2 spaces, then deal 1 damage to each fighter adjacent to them. This one's pretty good, and you don't even have to die. It's really good. You deal 1 damage. So if there's a lot of sidekicks, he does a lot of area damage. And then to end it, fearsome and calculating. Immediately look at your opponent's hand and choose 1 card for them to discard unless they pay a doubloon. There's a lot of discarding unless they pay a doubloon. So they probably want to pay for most of these, or else it's kind of like Medusa, who makes you discard a bunch. We're going to play a bit and come back with our final thoughts. We played a bit of Unmatched Battle of Legends 3 off camera, and now it's time for my review. I thought that this set is actually very good. The characters are very complex, so if you're new to Unmatched, I would get a different set first before this, but they were pretty enjoyable and fun to play once you get a hang of them. If I were to rank all 4 of the fighters in this set, I would put Blackbeard as number 1, Chupacabra as 2, and then Loki as 3 and Pandora as 4. But overall, I like all the concepts. Chupacabra was the most symbolic of all of them. Overall, both maps, Venice and Santa's Workshop, were very well designed, and they had some great artwork on it. I do like the concept of the conveyor belt on Santa's Workshop, because then you can play around with the opponent and make them maneuver when they don't want to. Out of all the Battle of Legends sets, I would rank Battle of Legends 2 first place. This one is amazing. Even though there's only 1 map, Hanging Gardens, it's an amazing map, and it has a gimmick too. And all 4 of the fighters are very fun to play, and not too complicated too. Also, I like how in this box, They have the concept of double attacks, where on one card you get to attack, but as a free action, if they don't cancel the effect, you get a second attack to go along with it. Second place will be this set. I like how complex it is, and it was pretty fun to learn all the characters and play with them. Even though Battle of Legends 1 got third place, it's still really fun to play, and if you're new to Unmatched, you definitely need to get this one first, just so that you can test out the game and learn easily with these 4 fighters. Also, it's the original Unmatched box, and this is the first board game they created in the whole Unmatched series. If Battle of Legends Volume 3 looks fun to you, you can find out more in the link in the description. Bye!